What's up with happening? It's the one only Jeff Action Bad Macaroni third leg on me. Out here kicking it. Got my man's Tajon Archive. Got my man's AC from All Out Sports Incorporated on all platforms. How's everybody doing tonight, man?
Good.
Yeah, man. June 3rd. We just want to start off with probably surprising to some, not surprising to others. Tom Thibodeau, after getting the Knicks to the playoffs 4 out of the last 5 years, second round appearance last year, Eastern Conference Finals appearance this year, 2 games short of the finals. But James Dolan and Leon Rose felt like that wasn't enough. I hope the ghost of David Fizdale come back and haunt y'all ass. I ain't gonna lie to you, say.
Bro, why don't you get him then?
I'll take him on the bench as an assistant.
He's available. No, he's available. You want him so bad, you can have him. He's available, man.
But since Tay's a Knicks fan, I just want to get his perspective real quick. And I'll let you chime in, AC, and then I'll follow up my thoughts. I feel like the firing is unjust, personally. I think it's unfair. But Tay, I'll let you. Same way.
So honestly, like as a fan, I wasn't surprised, wasn't upset, not happy. If you want to be a good team, you gotta take chances. And I don't know, I just always felt like Tom Thibodeau, it was always, you don't complain about good coaches. Like there's nothing to say about good coaches. Like people, he plays this, like you don't say that about good coaches. Like just think about the top coaches, you don't say anything about them. There's nothing wrong with them because they're good coaches. Tom Thibodeau, he doesn't do this. His offenses are slow. It's always something. So like people say all that, and then why'd they fire him? Because the stuff that y'all cry about. That's why he got fired. That's why. And I mean, I understand. So here's my thing, and it'll probably make sense to you. You don't beat the Celtics and lose to the Pacers. The Pacers are a great team, but you don't beat the Celtics, and like that doesn't make any sense. That's so backwards. Like we might have just lost. Like it's so backwards, and it makes you wonder, like, how do you not get that done? Like that was like, that was the Pacers was supposed to be a second round matchup. The Celtics was supposed to be that's what I'm saying. That's how I see it.
I mean, your team treated like a championship. Like you had Josh Hart hitting 3-pointers at 48.
Yeah, it was like they're playing their hearts out. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, man. Like Bridges hitting all the turnaround jumpers in the world. Yeah, mid range on 95 and shit.
Yeah. Like definitely. But I don't know. It's you. If you want to be a great team, you got to take a chance. You got to do something, like whether that's making a big trade. And we've been doing that. Like you see, we're not scared to do something about it. We done made trade after trade, signing after signing, and the only thing that hasn't changed was the coach. Now it's time. Let's see what it looks like with a different coach. I love the GM. He turned us around. We were terrible. Like when he first got there, he turned us around. We flipped so many players. He got rid of all the players that like before him. Like, I mean, I don't.
He was there since Melo, right? He was there since Melo's tenure in New York.
I think he came shortly after Melo.
A little bit after that. Yeah. So I mean, he was given a bunch of bums, and it got flipped. Like look at the roster now. So I mean, I trust him. There's no reason not to. And I mean, like I said, that's the coach is the only thing that has not changed. So let's try it.
AC, what are your thoughts?
I agree. I'm gonna start off piggybacking off of what Tay said. I agree with change is people say that sometimes that change ain't always good, but sometimes change is good. If you look at when James Dolan first came in, they've been building and making better choices ever since he came in. And like you said, the only thing that ain't changed is the coach. I had my fair share of time with Thibodeau because I'm a Bulls fan, so I have my fair share, of Thibs. And coming off of what you said, Jeff, is I feel like it's unjust because you gotta look at the resume. I look at the resume when it comes to the coaches. I can't remember the last time that Thibs hasn't been in the playoffs. It's hard for me to really pinpoint when the last time he has made it to the playoffs. Granted, we had them to win championships. So, that all that, getting there, granted, some coaches don't ever get there, but getting there, it should be some type of accomplishment. It should be some, type of good feeling to that. But I do, like I said, other than that, I do agree that change, is good. But I feel like they were just one piece away. If you've been paying attention to them the last 4 or 5 years, they've been adding. I think they just needed. I honestly think they needed one more year with the core because you got to remember. Oh my goodness, I'm getting a blank with the names. But they made the trades with Cat. They brought in Cat. They brought in small forward
Bridges.
They brought in Bridges.
Yeah.
I feel like if they had one more year, because you have to remember this is the same team they lost to last year, same exact team, the Pacers. It was just earlier in the playoffs, and granted, Tatum going down really changed everything. They were a wounded deer out there because I don't really have no belief and trust in Jaylen Brown. I know people want to say that he's the Batman, and I don't feel like I feel like Jason Tatum is the heart and soul, and we saw that. It was obvious. Jaylen Brown did exactly what we expected him to do, the bare minimum, what he usually does. He didn't excel. He didn't show me nothing different. He did exactly what we know him to do. So them beating the Celtics was, an accomplishment, even though they were wounded. But it's all about health when it comes to playoff time. You gotta be who's the healthiest, and who can get the job done. And both teams were healthy for the most part. It's just that Indy, that core, they've been together, and then they got a coach over there in oh my god,
Carlisle.
And Rick Carlisle, that he really let them boys go out there and play. You could tell he let them go out there and play. He really don't get on them too much. He really, when they make mistakes, they they come back and make it up. But yeah, that's my take on Thibs getting fired, man. I feel like you said the same thing. I feel like it was unjust, but I also agree with Tate saying that sometimes change got to come, and you got to pick somebody, and most people they're gonna pick is the coach.
So real briefly, I am a Celtics fan. I believe in Jaylen Brown as number one option. We just got to get a ball handler with the team. He had a torn meniscus he was playing through. So I just got to defend my guy, Jaylen, man. I can't let Jaylen slander cook. So that's just one thing real briefly. As far as the Knicks, though, if they get Mike Malone, then I think the firing is justified. I feel like Malone will get better out of the offense, and he knows how to manage personality. He gets the best out of players. So I think that's the upgrade. I'm seeing Jay Wright's name. I don't really know how he would do in the NBA. He was cold at Villanova, but I don't know if that translates to the league. I saw Johnny Bryant's name. That's a former assistant of the Knicks, and he was an assistant with the Cavaliers. And he's apparently in the running for the Suns job, but apparently, they're going to try to talk to him. And a report I saw, they said that the players had talked to Leon Rose and Dolan to ask if they should bring Thibs back. They consulted the players. So I know Mikal Bridges really didn't like Thibs like that.
Yeah.
He was saying earlier.
He was very vocal about that. Yeah, he was vocal about that.
Yeah.
Like,
what you saying?
Like, honestly, I was telling my friends, Thibodeau is for, teams that need him. We don't need him anymore. He's for, the up-and-coming teams. The teams that need help with, getting there.
I see what you're saying.
The Bulls or something like that. If he coached the Bulls, they go into the playoffs. That's what I'm saying.
You call him a stepping stone?
He was in Chicago already, but I'm just saying, the Hornets. The Hornets would have real structure, if he was there. Ain't none of that, all that they be doing. They need him. We don't need him anymore. They need to strict.
Thibs
Don't laugh.
Stone coach.
He kind of is a development coach.
He is. He's a great coach. That's what he is, though. You get him, and he can get you as far as possible, and then that's when you got to make the switch. So, he needs to be on one of them rebuilding teams. They need to be blowing his phone up because they'll get to the playoffs.
I see that. You're right about that.
He only gonna take a year off, and then when the next wave of coaches get fired, He'll be in the running because, like, surprisingly, the Wizards didn't want to fire their coach. I don't understand why. Charles Lee is back in Charlotte, but if he has another year like he just had, he gonna get fired. Utah's coach, he just signed an extension. Surprisingly, I don't really understand that.
Doc stuck in Milwaukee.
Like, honestly,
really can't get rid of him.
San Antonio, if their coach, I know they hired a guy that was interim, but I don't see him being there long term. So he got another. He probably gonna take a year off and he'll take over some team.
I see a lot of younger coaches and, like, you know, coaches that's been basically like assistant coaches getting the opportunity. They're giving them an opportunity, I should say.
The only old coaches really is I guess you can consider Spoelstra old now. Rick Carlisle.
Doc,
but Doc's on the way out. He only got like a year left. He ain't finishing that contract. Everybody else like in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's a new wave, man. Like Budenholzer got fired, Mike Brown got fired. Like, yeah, ain't rolling with them old coaches like that no more. So you better, honestly, y'all might roll with the Johnny Bryan dude, man. Now I think about it, I'm looking at the wave of the league. That's a lot of pressure on him, though. Like, take over a conference finals team is your first job. That's a lot.
Yeah. Everybody's not gonna be able to smooth transition in like Missoula was able to. That's not gonna be a smooth transition, like like that situation.
I mean, it's not that hard if you got a good roster. I mean,
he was an assistant there too, so he's familiar with Brunson.
You know just about it. Yeah, so I mean, it ain't that hard, and I don't think it's that much pressure. No one's asking him to take us to the finals next year, but just wants to see him.
It's New York. It's New York now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sure about that?
In year one, no.
Hey,
we're not gonna.
New York,
no. We're not gonna get him and then fire him the year after. It's gonna be the second year. That's when the pressure is really truly.
New York people, man, if you ain't showing them what they want to see, they
for me, that's crazy to ask for.
So you got some sense. You a New York fan with some sense.
Yeah, he is. A lot of them is real impatient. They want to fire everybody. And we'll just talk about the finals real briefly, since that's coming up in the next couple of days. More I'm thinking about it, I think OKC is 6. I don't think they have an answer for SGA. Maybe Nembhard and Neesmith are probably the best defenders on them. I think Pascal might get off, but J-Dub could probably guard him fairly well. Halliburton can't have them single-digit games. That's what kind of concerns me.
Yeah.
They got a lot of defenders they can throw at Halliburton. You got Case and Wallace, Caruso.
Alex will give him problems. I see that already. He's gonna be giving that ball up a lot. I see that already. He ain't used to that type of pressure.
They both play good pressure defense, but I think it's gonna be a 6-game series. I don't think Indiana gets washed. They're gonna have some games where they get out and transition well. OKC, they seem like a team that'll get back, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good finals, man. Like, I'm actually looking forward to it. I know it's not like the marquee household names to a lot of the casuals, but we don't work for these TV rating places. They ain't gonna be worse than the Spurs and Nets finals. That was probably the worst I think I've seen.
Oh man!
Like, I don't think you remember that, man. Tim Duncan was whooping their ass. He was
going to work.
He had damn near quadruple double one in them games, man. Like, that shit was boring as fuck. They swept the fuck out the Nets. That was like the worst.
Oh my goodness!
They would make articles like, "Yo, is the NBA dead? Like, these teams is boring." But what do you think about this series, T? Then I'll ask you, AC.
I think it'd be a good series. I mean, if you make it to the finals, you make it to the finals. You don't often see finals teams like really not belong. You know, like, I think these games are gonna be close. Pacers gonna win some games. I'd say Thunder in 7. Like, I think they can really make it interesting. I mean, Pacers really blew through the playoffs. Honestly, we just look at they blew through the Cavs. I mean, they were hurt, but they still they got past them. They beat the Knicks pretty easily. Yeah, I mean they blew through the playoffs. So I mean, they haven't even really been truly tested if you think about it. So yeah, here's the test right here. And I mean,
they've been tested, man, because they've been down like by damn near.
They've been dominant. They've honestly been dominant the whole playoffs. I mean, no one had them in 5 against the Cavs and stuff like that. Nah, they've been dominant. I'm trying to give them their credit. I'm trying to give them their credit.
Right. We
like that,
the Cavs are going healthy.
They blew through the play, like no problem. They ain't need no game 7s, nothing like that. Like they've been up in their series the whole time. I mean, they haven't really I don't really think they've been tested much. Like no one,
it's so impressive the way it come back from them deficits, though. I think that's a test, though. In all honesty, to be down 7 with like 45 seconds left,
to come back from a lot of points like that, and you have to take a whole quarter to do it. That's a lot of discipline.
Yeah,
that takes a lot.
It's been impressive. So you saying Thunder in 7? The Thunder do force a lot of turnovers, but the Pacers do a great job of moving without the ball. They're not a stagnant offense.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do try to double and triple team, they make timely cuts. And I think that's what separates them from a lot of teams. AC, how you feeling about the series?
So I think I'm going to have the wildest take because of what y'all said. I think it's going to be OKC in 5. And I'll tell you why. I feel like OKC is the most complete team that's been in the playoffs on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, and equally yoked on both sides. They can get to a point where they'll be running. They get a couple of stops. They're running them breaks. They're up 10, just like that. And then they also can stop an offense from running. We've seen it all playoffs. Yes, granted, the Nuggets gave them a run for their money, but that was just experience. And, they just won a championship a couple years ago. So they added a couple of players, lost a couple of players. And, they still had that experience on around the whole team as a whole. But OKC is usually they're younger, they look hungry, and they ready to take it all. I feel like this is just their year. Hopefully they can bring everybody back, but yeah, I feel like it's just their year. The Pacers have had a good run. Like Tay said, they kind of walked through. Granted, it was injuries. I just feel like they were the better offensive team. Really better overall team against the Knicks. And also they've had that core over there in Indiana for a couple of years to get to a certain level of playing with each other. But I feel like they're more offensive heavy. And once they get a containment on that, it's going to be hard for them to keep up OKC. Because like I said, I feel like OKC is equally yoked on both sides. So, yeah, I got OKC in 5.
Yeah, OKC, once you turn your back on them, they're going to have that swarm and double team. Then they start playing that 1980s like Pac-Man music in the crowd. That turns players up even more. Y'all know this shit I'm talking about. They're like,
Yeah.
Just be like swarming and shit.
All their wingspans are super long. Like all of them, the whole starting 5 wingspans, they all over 6'5" wingspan wise. And I think the shortest person starting 5 is Dort. Dort's 6'5". So
he's strong as hell.
Yeah.
So they're dangerous, man. I think they're on pace to force the most turnovers in playoff history, and then they don't even turn the ball over themselves a lot. So it's like a crazy differential, like 200, some crazy stat like that. They say that's better than the 95 Bulls. So once you breaking their records, it's like, that's a different shit.
Absolutely.
But last topic, real quick. I think it's gonna be an intriguing series, man. Looking forward to it. But last topic, the 2020's and the 2010's. So we was discussing on the last pod how we think the dynasties is over with. OKC, they might run another one, but the CBA's in the way. So they're not. That's gonna break that shit up after like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
But I like how it's a new champion every year. 7 new champions in 7 consecutive years. That's impressive. But the 2010s, that might have been the best era of basketball. Like, my older brother disagrees. He holds on to his 90s, and I rock the early 2000s, but
I love the 90s, but we know that's basically a decade ran by, the GOAT. But the 2010s, when it comes to all around great basketball, yeah, definitely 2010s.
They definitely got the best three men of all time in the 2010s. You got Bron, KD, Kawhi. Like, ain't no other era messing with them like the three men. Even the two guards is probably the best. I mean, I'll probably take 2000s two guards over them.
2000s two guards. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. Yeah, the 2000s two guards was dangerous. Yeah.
Like, yeah, because you had... you look a little bit befuddled.
No, you had who? Go ahead.
You had Kobe off the
rip.
Had
Kobe, T-Mac,
there you go.
AI. You had
Michael
AI. Red. You had Michael Red.
Oh, you look like
Ray Allen.
Now you name like Michael Red. Woo! You went
Red
real low. Come on, bro.
What?
Michael Red?
Red was cold, though.
Oh my God!
That was the fourth person he named.
No, we're just naming guys.
Michael Red.
Put it in order.
Ray Allen.
Oh my goodness! He should even.
Richmond. Come on, man. It's I can't even say Reggie because Reggie was 90s. I can't even say Reggie.
Brandon Roy.
You had Brandon. Yeah, I had Brandon Roy written in my notes really. Brandon Roy. It was a lot of great two guards. Yeah,
2000s was probably the best twos.
Mm-hmm.
Even like the lower tier guys, like Michael Finley was getting buckets, man.
Mm-hmm. The evolution of the two guards started then, where it really started. Like, okay, these guys can run teams too, because 90s, it was Jordan, it was the big man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was Jordan or the bigs. When they got like early 2000s, it was leaning more towards bigs, but then the two guards started evolving, and then after that, everything just started like what they say, positionless basketball. That's when it kind of really started towards the 2010s and all of that.
I'm taking the 2000s power forwards ahead of any other decade too. Between Tim Duncan, KG, Dirk, Amari, like I don't think any other decade. 2010s was cool. You had, Anthony Davis. Blake, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Blake, yeah.
Marcus Aldridge was cool. Kevin Love, but 2000s was different.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing about the 2000s too, it was just like, it was more band for band games. As y'all see, I've been going back to like 2000s and pulling up different games for real. The role players now were much better than they were back then.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Teams are better.
But I think that's because of coaching and because of the
GMs.
What is asked of players. That's what I think. Because back in 2000s, it's his team. He gonna do what you know what I'm saying. He gonna do what he do. We're gonna play off him. Now it's more okay. We're gonna conserve our stars. Y'all got to do something. We need you to, we need you to step up over here. We need you to be consistent at something. You can't just be out here watching the star do what he do. You know what I'm saying? That was more of a normal thing in the 2000s. Like, I'm putting the team on my back. We gonna hoop. Kobe mentality. T-Mac. Them guys is okay. I'm putting the team on my back. We gonna hoop. If we lose, it's because of me. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, okay, this is a collective now. We all have to pitch in some type of way. Either it's defense, hustle. You know your role when you go out there. As a bench player nowadays.
Yeah, I think that's a GM and scout thing too. Like they're building teams much better. The GMs back then sucked. If they had something, they'd trade like a good player. It was just a lot.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, I think the teams now they're overall better. Like, I feel like back then there was a bunch of like bum teams that had no like future. It was just like like now you can look at every team and they got like a promising player or two. I feel like compared to back then, I didn't feel the same. I feel like the worst teams in the league literally had nothing, but the worst team in the league now you see something like there's potential. Like there's certain players you look at and stuff like
that's
that.
the word, potential.
Yeah, I think there's more potential now in the league on each roster. When it back then, and it also you got to think like the whole college, high school thing. Like these guys are getting brought up different. Like it's more AU stuff like that. They had. Well, it's no longer here, but they had like the G League Ignite. Like it's just different ways for them to get to the NBA now. So I mean, just more player development than back then. So
I agree with that, and I feel like piggybacking off of that they, like you said, development, and we'll go with that is also I feel like they utilize specific guys' skills more. Look at the Almond twins. They really can't shoot, you know what I'm saying? But they're good defenders and they get rebounds. I'm sorry, I said Almond twins, Thompson twins. Look at them and how they're utilized. They're not. We're not looking for them to score. We're not looking for them to take over a game, but they will play defense and they're gonna rebound. And if they make a shot, they get open, get to the basket. That's all a plus. They utilize the guy's skills more. They don't look like, oh, you can't do this. We can't use you. You know what I'm saying? True. Nowadays, it's you can do that. All right, do that. We can use that. You know what I'm saying? And that is the difference. Between back then and especially now.
Yeah. So outside, what's one thing that y'all do miss from back then that you wish was in today's game? Or what's one thing from now that you wish was back then? Because me personally, I wish that the 14-second shot clock after the rebound was in our era, like the early 2000s. It would have sped the pace up. You had some fucking
definitely would have sped the pace up. Yeah,
Them 73 to 68 ass games and throw it into the big man and he going back down for 15 seconds. All that rough shit.
Oh yeah. I wish I would take something out. Actually, no, I'm not taking something out. What you said, I would take. I know this is gonna be petty, but the camera thing they do now, it's a lot of games that would have been done, that would have been settled differently if they had the camera replay, if they had the little replay that they have.
Challenges, word.
Yeah, the challenges. A lot of things would be different. A lot of things would be different. A lot of games will have different endings if we had that challenges back then. Some guys would have rings. Some guys would have rings. I ain't gonna name no names. 76.
Chris Webber. Chris Webber and the Kings for sure.
Yeah. AI might have snuck one. AI might have stuck one. Reggie might have stuck one. Hey,
Suns could have got one.
Yep. It's a couple of guys who could have snuck out one if they had the challenges back then.
Tay, what's one thing that you would change?
It'd have been cool to see, like in the 2010's, a play-in tournament. Like I feel like there's not a bunch, but there's a lot of like 45 plus win teams, especially in the West, not making the playoffs. You would have got some crazy, like pre-playoff action with those games. That'd have been tough, and it wouldn't. And I don't think it would have been the blowouts that we'll get sometimes for these playing games. Like they would have been competitive because these are all good teams. They got 45 wins. It's just, like other teams just winning a little bit more than you. So I think that definitely
one more game.
Yeah,
one more game than me.
Exactly. Like
I know what year you're talking about too. Like the 09 and like everybody had like 48 plus wins down to the 10 seed.
Like stuff like that, that'd have been cool. Like you really had to earn it and really fight for your playoff spot. That'd definitely been cool.
That's a good point. Last point about this. What's one player from now that you think would have ate back then? Or one player from now you think would struggle back then? Or what's a player that you feel like, what I mean, right? I'm a little tired, so it sounds fucked up when I'm asking. I'm sorry.
No, I get what you're saying.
Like a player that would have cooked in this era, or a player that would have cooked back in the day, or a player that would have struggled in this era that you from back then? Like, do you think Isaiah Thomas would have been as effective in this era like he was in 2010s?
No.
You said 2010s? Or you talking about
now? Isaiah Thomas, he was cooking in the 2010s. So I'm saying, like, you think he would have had that 30-point per game year?
You talking about little Celtics.
Yeah.
I don't know. He would have flourished down. Definitely would have flourished now. The way they do the ticky-tack fouls, and he was going to the basket, he is what Jalen Brunson is doing now. Y'all go back and watch Isaiah Thomas the way he used to play. Him and Jalen Brunson got similar games. When it comes to how they play, I feel like he would have flourished because
I think they would have got at him on defense though. That's my only concern.
That's what I was thinking. All these teams got these
but I think he
6'6" guards and stuff.
I think he would have smarted up like Brunson do and uses his body, like him, SGA, and all them other guys who they use their brain. Okay, I can move this way. They gonna jump. They're not just gonna let me have this open. I'm gonna bump into him foul. I think he would have smartened up to figure out. I don't want to say manipulate the game, but use what you can do as your advantage.
He was getting free throws back then. I just like the defenses are a little bit different. They would have attacked him every time on defense. There'd been like no way they could have hit him. That's my only concern about IT in this era. They would have made him guard, just like they made Brunson guard. They would have made IT guard.
Yeah, you right about that. Yeah, you saw. This is a quick side note. You saw Mike Conley was kind of struggling. Granted, he's 40. But he was kind of struggling, keeping up with even though he was guarding Dort. Dort usually just stand there and he'll, stand there, catch and shoot. But still, that you trying to chase Dort around and Dort setting screens, and that was a lot for Mike. You could tell.
Yeah, they just can't. They know what put him on the guy to just stand in the corner. They're gonna have people in action. You gonna have to guard. They bring your ass in the pick and roll, and you gotta guard.
Yeah, you're right.
Trying to think of who else. Now, I think I would like to see Jokic in the early 2010s. I think that would have been pretty interesting.
Going against Dwight and a young Dwight, I should say, prime Dwight.
Yeah, honestly, probably Jokic in 2000s, going up against Duncan, going up against KG. I would like to see it.
That'd have been bad for them. Oh my goodness.
I don't know about Duncan. I think you're a little sleep on Timothy.
It threw him below the rim.
Crazy.
He's younger, man, so he knows these dudes.
No. Jokic will fry to Duncan each game in a 7-game series.
Nah, man. You gotta put some respect. That's a 15-time all-defensive player, yo. We ain't doing that.
He don't know, Jeff. He don't know.
He'd take him to the 3-point line. Oh, it'll be over for Tim Duncan. Woo! He'd take him right to that 3-point line.
Do you know who Tim Duncan was beating out to get to the finals?
Yeah, Tim Duncan's nice, but he can't guard Jokic.
The quote unquote the greatest center to ever play the game.
He was knocking Shaq out the playoffs.
I'm not. It's harder to guard Jokic. Like, hot take, it's harder to guard Jokic and Shaq. I mean, yeah. Yes. Like, they're just different aspects. Like, bro, Jokic, man. It's not just inside. He can shoot. He can back you down. Nobody is pushing back on you. If Jokic's backing you down, you're gonna be under the basket. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna be under the basket. Like, by the time he's done.
This is a defensive. Oh man, you don't know Tim.
Nobody has ever stopped Jokic. I've never seen it.
I dig it, but Tim would have made him work for it, dog.
Tim would have definitely made him work for it.
Everyone makes it work for it. You remember we was doing the Anthony Davis? He was shooting from behind his head.
Anthony Davis ain't Timmy.
It doesn't.
Jokic is literally standing in the paint, catching the ball, and basically the ball in the rim. That's not making me work for it.
They can't guard Jokic. I'm not gonna lie. That's impossible. They can't.
That's not working for it. This man is catching the ball, turning around, and just throwing it in there. That's not working for it.
And Tim would have had him in the blender too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. I'm not.
He would just hit him with that jab step, bank shot like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But but is Tim Duncan getting them 35, 40-point games like Jokic is?
In the playoffs, like regular season, he would turn up in the playoffs, bro. Tim was different in the playoffs, dog.
You see, I'm gonna say this is gonna be kind of wild, but Joel Embiid is a great value. Tim Duncan on the offensive side. He's not a defender like Tim Duncan was, but he get active like Tim Duncan was on offense. He gets active, just like Joel Embiid.
Tim in the playoffs was a different animal, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh well, of course. I mean, yeah, that's obvious, but I don't know. Him versus Jokic, that would be tough. I don't like Jokic be hitting the craziest shots. That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't even matter who.
Yeah, Jokic. I'm not saying he would shut him down. I'm just saying he would make it work for it. And I just feel like I would have liked to see Jokic.
For it.
It won't be what he's doing now.
Doing
I don't be seeing nobody make him work. Maybe Embiid when he actually plays him, Embiid tries to give him a run for his money. But other than that, AD he undersized. The symbol is that he undersized. Jokic too big.
Ben Wallace would have like made him work for it, yo.
Oh, he would give Ben Wallace 50. Oh no, he'd give him.
Ben was strong, bro. Like, man,
dude, yo, he would shoot threes the whole game. Like he would shoot the ball. And you can't block. He puts the ball behind his head. When you do that, there's no defense after that. He's shooting over him. He's shooting over him. And his game isn't just right here. He's shooting over Ben Wallace. Oh, yeah.
Ben had mobility too, bro. He was guarding on the perimeter. Ben wasn't just like a stiff. Like
that's why this is your segment, Jeff. Bridging the gap. This is bridging the gap with Tay.
No, like Ben Wallace.
He's the reason I started it, yo. Because he said Darren Williams sucked.
Yeah.
Him and my boy Darius.
Wow.
So I started bridging the gap because of that.
He said, oh my god.
Like he doesn't suck, but he's like, I'm all right, okay. Darren Williams would be like Colin Sexton. Like he'd be like one of them guards. Like one of them high scoring, like 16 a game, 17, but he wouldn't be no all-star.
Let me ask you this. Is this because I asked this to other younger people? Is this because you're comparing now to then?
I only think of Utah Darren Williams and a little bit of Brooklyn, but I only think of Utah Darren Williams, to be honest. Like the Cleveland, when he couldn't even stay on the court, I don't think about that. I think about Utah and maybe like the first 2 years in Brooklyn. But after that,
problem in Utah. He was an issue in Utah.
I guess so. He was alright. He had his years and stuff.
He was one of the taller guards still before they went positionless. He was one of the tallest guards in the league still. The average height was like what? 6'2", 6'3"?
6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, 6'1", 6'2". He's like 6'4", 6. He man. Crossover, but getting to the Baja. Come on, man.
Mid-range, posting you up. He just had it all, bro.
He was an issue.
But any other players you feel like
no.
he ain't going. We had a discussion all the time. Any other players? I think K would have fit in with the 2000s. I would like to see him back then.
K?
Cunningham.
He been the best point guard in the league, of course. Ain't nobody guarding him. They can't guard him now. And you gotta think there wasn't no big guards like that. Like he's automatic
in the 2000s
advantage. Yeah. I feel like
Jason Kidd was pretty big.
Chauncey
was kind of big, but
not Chauncey. Jason Kidd, no, not Chauncey Billups. No, he was like
Chauncey wasn't small.
Chauncey played.
He was no. Cade is like 6'6", 6'7". No, Cade is like a forward. Like if you think about like Jason Kidd, I can give you that. But Chauncey, I don't know. I think he's on like not the shorter end, but
he's shorter than Cade, but he wasn't gonna get pushed around.
Nah,
yes, he was.
He was solid.
Cade is like,
man,
Cade is like, nobody stops Cade. Like that's his thing. In the transition, nobody can stop Cade. Like going like full head is like Chauncey Billups. He wouldn't even have seen Chauncey Billups taking the play. He wouldn't even know Chauncey Billups was guarding him. He'd be like, who was that? Oh, that was Chauncey.
What Ben Simmons was supposed to be. That's why. Ben Simmons was supposed to be.
Yeah. Honestly, like I can agree with that. Like that's how I see him, honestly. Yeah. But I mean, you said players, Steve Nash would have been like, he'd have been like whatever. Now, Like, even though he would have been whatever.
Like Halliburton just got to the finals with Steve Nash's play style.
Game
Steve
manager.
Nash was doing this stuff, and he's only Steve Nash only 6'2", right?
He was like 6'3", yeah.
Man, like nobody wants a game manager.
He was a 50-40-90 guy, bro. If he would have been more, he would say he wish he would have been more selfish.
But he wasn't, and that's why I look at him how I do. He was like a game manager.
A game manager?
Nah,
he was.
He turned the Suns around.
Like he did, and he deserved none of them MVPs. Like that was like, come on. He was just a new.
He didn't deserve one of them. One of them should have went to Kobe. I'll agree with that.
But one should have went to Kobe for sure. But not
18 and 11, man. 6 men in the NBA do that now. No.
You gotta understand the pace was slower back then, bro.
That's why I be having to tell people things are different. Y'all have to see things were different. They were different than it is now. They have a habit of comparing it to now, and it's like you can't think in the now. Everything is different.
He went over LeBron. No. LeBron averaged 31, 7, and 7. You give it to 18 and 10? That's a big player. Like that's like a high-level role player right there. Like Derek White can do something like that. That's like Derek White-ish. Look, and LeBron, nigga, 31, 7, and 7. You're gonna take 18 and 10. A game manager? No.
So they looked at it as
they had a winning record too. They were winning
30 plus more wins than the year before.
Mm-hmm.
And they was pushing the pace. Like when the 7 seconds or less offense came to the NBA, that was like some mind-blowing shit. Because back then, like I said, it was throw it in the post, back down, turn around.
A 21-year-old averaging 31, 7, 7. Oh, okay. No, we're not gonna give it to him. We'll give it to a game manager instead. That makes no sense. Like I get what you can't give me that over LeBron. That's it. He was 21.
In Phoenix, bro.
That is insane. We'll never see a 21-year-old do that again.
I agree with you on that. Like,
why are we giving it to Steve Nash? What are we doing? We just wasted MVPs. Why are we giving it to Steve Nash? Come on. I don't care how many wins.
Did they ever talk about that on their show? Like the mind the game? Like, yo, you know you got one of my MVPs, right?
I mean, they should. Honestly, bro. That's like that. That's bad. That's really bad. I don't think he's a guy. I just better than LeBron in anything. I'm not gonna lie. And then you're talking about the teams who really made their team better. Like, I don't see like that Suns team was good. LeBron was playing with bums.
We're not gonna go there. I was a Bron fan when he first came in. They were not bums. And that's another thing.
That team wasn't good.
Would you rather the Suns roster or the Cavs roster?
With today's roster, with back then, if you think about who was playing back then and what they gave to what they used for whatever their talent was, whatever they were good at, that team was not that bad. That team was not that bad.
That Suns roster was better though. Like
granted, the Suns roster was better. But for what LeBron had and the core that he was able to work with, they weren't that bad. They still had to do things too. They weren't that bad. He had Big Z, which was an all-star.
Cool. That was about it. Drew Gooden was
Big Z was good. Drew was but then they brought in Mo Williams.
Look what you just said about the second best player on the team. You just saying that you can't say that Sean Marion on the team. That's Stoudemire. You're not calling them bums, but you just said Big Z.
He was all-star at the time. Mo Williams came in.
Yeah. They gave because the Cavs was so good. It was like, you know what, we got to give him another all-star because of LeBron.
They had good pieces for that time and that era. They had good pieces. Larry Hughes and Mo Williams and Booby coming off the bench. Like they had pieces that went with.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, you looking at the 06 roster?
They made the playoffs.
Because of LeBron. That's what I'm trying to say.
What are the others doing? A
little bit of something, but
what are they doing though? What are they doing?
If they didn't have LeBron, they're getting back to back. They
have to play defense too, right? They have to play defense to beat teams, right? Right?
And who's the best defender on the team?
Ilgauskas.
Larry Hughes.
Larry Hughes was next.
No.
Ilgauskas was.
LeBron was the best everything on the team.
It was before his decline. Before Ilgauskas' decline, Ilgauskas was in the defensive talks before.
Yeah, he can block shots, but I feel like LeBron's versatility, like I'd rather that than just a shot blocker.
Him and Larry Hughes. Hughes was a good perimeter defender too.
Exactly. It was still like a position type of, a position, like you knew your position type back then. It wasn't no like positionless. So obviously Ilgauskas, they were still kind of big man, like I said, big man, forward leaning and guard leaning around that time. So Ilgauskas was down there blocking shot. Larry Hughes was on there, guarding the perimeter. LeBron was guarding whoever. You know what I'm saying? But Williams did what he could. Bowie wasn't really no defender. He was a shooter. Catch and shoot. You know what I'm saying? But you have to. Back then was a lot more of playing defense than offense. You can score a lot of points, but if you're not getting no stops, you're not winning no games. Grant, you look at that Spurs team. You look at the Lakers when they was doing their thing. They were mostly defense. They had offense too, but they were stopping other teams from scoring. that was what their game was centered around. As a whole, as the NBA, it was more defensive leaning.
Yeah, so I disagree with the Steve Nash take. Y'all got any final players? Or like I just want to know we about to wrap. But
like the point, I'm looking at them point guards funny. Like them 2000 point guards.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. A lot of them. Yo, yeah. I just don't like. You're more of a threat to your team if you look for your shot than pass the ball. That's how I feel about the point guard position.
That was the era back then, though. It was like
it was point guard, set screens, pick and roll, big man. That's what it was. Set screen, pick and roll, big man.
That's why I look at them funny. Like
2010 point guards is better. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but they're allowed to do more. You gotta remember. With the evolving of it becoming positionless. The point guard's going to come in faster, stronger. Okay, I'm going to get to this rim. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to pull up on the midi. They weren't doing that. They running plays in the early 2000s. Yeah. We're going to run this play. We're going to run this play through you. We're not coming down in and out You're going to come down, wait for the screen. You're going to look and see if he's open on the cut. If he's not, we're looking at we bringing the ball back up top. We run in motion. That's how it was.
Who are you looking at funny? Like, I ain't mean to cut you off, AC. I just want to find out who's looking at funny.
Most of the point guards.
I know you don't like Jason Kidd because his field goal percentage. I know you told me that before.
Well, I mean, AI too. Well, he's a shooting guard, but like him too.
Aaron Davis was good.
Nah.
He just had to throw it in the post.
No.
He was really good.
Don't forget about like he's already forgotten. Nah.
So you
not up there. Like
Steve Francis
wasn't
good.
Like that was like Michael Ray. Like nah.
Michael Ray was a shooting guard.
Like he was cool for his time, but like thinking
Aaron in today's game averages more, bro. Like they gave him the freedom that they gave guards. Like he could get to the basket, he could post up, he could shoot threes, but they had him throw it inside a small Mashburn.
Yeah, they was running plays then, and they like you said, they gave him the green light to go out there and go hoop. Basically, just go hoop. Do what you do, man. Him, Steve Francis had that same green light. It was a couple of guards who had that. Okay, but it wasn't like it is now where basically everybody can. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can go out there.
Yeah, it's the best point guard era
There's
ever.
only a handful of guys that was like, okay, you can create your own whatever. Go ahead and go do it.
2010's by been like it's between 2010's and now, man.
No, it's now. Now clear. It's the best point guard era.
Now 2010, man,
we can start naming players. I'm not gonna lie.
Westbrook.
You got Steph, Westbrook. Like,
wait. Why? What? Like, why? Where does Steph like? You know what I mean? Like,
you got drafted in 2009.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it just depends on when they get drafted. Okay.
Like, him, Rose, Westbrook, Dame Lillard.
Oh no, D Rose, nah.
Oh yeah, I've got to tell you, you don't like D Rose.
Go ahead.
No, he's a good player, but like, come on, bro. He only played a couple years. Like his career wasn't the same as everyone else's. That's what I'm saying. Like he had hurt.
Right.
Because he got hurt.
The NBA don't stop for nobody. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh man,
he
carried a Bulls team
Tom Thibodeau.
Almost took a juggernaut of the Heat. He almost knocked them out of the playoffs. And you telling me he wasn't doing nothing?
He was good. This couple of years, he was pretty good. But like compared to these guards now, no way. He couldn't even shoot.
These guards now, they got load management, Tay.
Like these
imagine if D Rose had load management, Tay. Just imagine. Just think. If D Rose had load management, do you know how dominant? You know how
he's better than Ja, bro.
No, but I'm like, that's what I see. Like it's like Ja
gets hurt. Ja gets hurt. Do you know how dominant he would be if he had load management? You see how Russ was getting hurt, but Russ wasn't even on having the same impact as D Rose had. Yes, he ended up getting the triple doubles and ended up being a triple double guy. But before that, D Rose was the best point guard in the league.
Absolutely.
All of them. He was better than all of them.
Listen to how his peers talk about him, bro. Like his peers be like, yo, he was hard to guard.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff Teague say it. All of them say they had a problem guarding Poole from Chicago. Come on, man. Come on. Granted, injuries happen. What could have been, I get it. We can say the same thing about Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy was a problem for his back got messed up.
Even on the lower tier with point guards, like Kyle Lowry had a decent run in the 2010s. Like Isaiah Thomas had a good run.
No, he did not. No, Isaiah Thomas did not. He had you're naming guys that have 2 years. Stop. D Rose 2 years. Isaiah Thomas 2 years. Stop naming people like that.
These are because of injuries.
I don't have to do that.
You can't compare them to now because they have low management. You could not tell these guys back in the 2000s. You can chill out. You can play a couple games this week, and then you can come.
Best point guards from now are from the 2010s era, bro.
That's like me saying Ben Simmons. And Ben Simmons is not going to come up in this conversation because he only had 2 or 3 years. Y'all are naming guys
that's because he got it in his head. That was on him. But load management splits this whole thing because imagine if you told D Rose he didn't have to play for 2 games this week and you can come back next week. Imagine how healthy he would. Imagine how his body would be able to rest. He's going to the 110 miles per hour every game, every time he's bringing the ball to the court. Imagine you told a guy you ain't got to play tonight. We'll play you 2 nights. We'll pay you 2 nights.
Where's this ain't been shit since John Wall left? In all honesty,
even John Wall's the same way. Injuries again. Imagine if John Wall had low match.
He'll be the same guy.
No.
I know you saw John Wall.
This low management makes players better.
You saw John Wall before he got.
You don't get a game breaker for low management. Come on, bro. Nah. Come on. No.
You can't agree that load management is helping these players stay healthy longer during the season.
No, because guys are getting hurt. I feel like even more now. I feel like these guys are getting hurt even more.
That's not true. It's a lot more teams going into the playoffs healthier than hurt. Early 2000s guys hurt before they even get to the finals.
Maybe a lot of players not playing. I don't know about that.
It works out with some teams. It don't with others.
Yeah, or they do play and they get hurt during the playoffs. But for the most part, they're available for the playoffs. These guys in the 2000s, they hurt in the middle of the season. We hoping they come back.
So what's the point guards? Last question, T. What's the point guards from today that you feel so much better than 2010s?
Oh, Shea way better than all them guards.
Oh, yeah, Shea's cold. Cold.
Cade way better than all them guards. Luka next. LaMelo. You just said Kyle Lowry.
You said LaMelo.
He's better than Kyle Lowry.
You said LaMelo? LaMelo got to get a winning season first, but I even consider him on any list, brother.
So are we talking about the player or are we talking about their team and what they did? Y'all keep talking about this. I'm talking about the player.
I want to see LaMelo impact winning, dog.
Okay, but player, he's better than Kyle Lowry. That's what I'm saying. When we're talking about play, he is better than Kyle Lowry.
You know what the guys that you name, they all got in common? They have no point guard system structure. They're all coming down like it's AAU. LaMelo, Cade, SGA too. SGA just developed. He's developed to the point to know that he can use his body, which I think that, and I know y'all agree with this. Chris Paul helped him his year that he was in OKC.
Mm-hmm.
He helped him a lot and helped him figure out how to make the game easier, how to make the game simpler for himself. Which I see that a lot. That we can talk about it another time. But I people don't give Chris Paul a lot of credit. He's helped a lot of young point guards out, and you see that if you realize and notice later. The development of players that have come across or that have played with Chris Paul. But a lot of these point guards you naming now, they're a lot of freelance basketball because they're 6'6", 6'7".
That's why
they're not traditional.
They didn't have no restrictions. That's literally why. I'm not even saying you're wrong.
And they're positionless.
Better.
You're absolutely right. They're positionless. Guys who play that, they actually with a point guard.
And I mean,
come out here and distribute.
But even then, they're not bad. It's definitely what they're allowed and what they're not allowed to do. But I feel like that's one of the reasons why I'll always add that. I'm never gonna not I agree with what you said. That plays a part into it. Players weren't allowed to do this and like Victor. They would have Victor. They would have had him eating 20 cheeseburgers a day back then, drinking 8 milkshakes. They would have wanted to get him.
He would have got beefed up. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But now, yo, just what you were saying. Oh, you can dribble, you can create for yourself. And they're gonna let you do that now. So I think that plays a big part in it. Honestly, just what they're allowed to do, Steve Nash. He probably would have been better, but what I've seen, I just felt. If you're 50, 40, 90, why are you not taking 20 shots? Why that is common sense. Why are you not taking? And then you wasn't allowed to.
Exactly.
And that's why if it could have went different, I could give it to you, but what they're allowed to do, it plays a part to me. That's why I'm naming guys like that. So yeah.
Okay. Well, this is definitely an intriguing combo. Gotta continue this another time. The show AC, you can shout out your podcast and social media handles real quick.
Yes, sir. All Out Sports, INC on TikTok, and also one man. I think I'm just on TikTok right now. But then I also want to shout out my other podcast that I do with my little brother called Championship Mindset. That's on TikTok as well.
Tajon, what's your page?
You can follow me, Tajon Archive, on any social media.
Yeah, follow me on the Hoop Panel. I'm mainly on TikTok and Twitter. Got a YouTube page. Got some more nostalgic content coming through on all platforms. Just gonna crank it out. Got some more WNBA stuff coming soon. So just appreciate everybody for tuning in. This episode was recorded on June 3rd. Gonna have it out probably tomorrow or the next day. Definitely by the time game 1 of the finals. Got to have our predictions out in the air. So appreciate everybody pulling up.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.